Hello, everyone.
Hey,
All right,
just
so,
gonna paint up the nose.
well, for those who haven't been here before, welcome to Draken Memoria. And for those who have, well, welcome back. Right now, I know there's not a lot of you. I believe there's one, so whoever you are, hello. Um, as for everyone else, well, hopefully one day there will be many people watching this, so
Yeah.
greetings to all of you.
Hello.
All right. So last time the party got split into two, with Valtteri and Trevor somewhere else in the world, most likely in Estrin, or at least we hope, and Tobiyashi and Audience at sea. For now, Valtteri and Trevor seem to have gotten the better deal by just having been forcefully drafted into being double agent for a mage school. While Audience and Tobiyashi have been, well, living the high life on the high sea,
Yeah.
seeing off beautiful scenery, making new friends, including a little kobold who seemed to be very eager to do, well, whatever was asked of him. But as nothing is ever that simple, we can't have it too simple for Tobiyashi and Audience. Well, they found themselves followed by what seemed like a pirate ship, which, by the end of last session, was revealed to actually be a pirate ship. A very well armed pirate ship. The boat's defenses were slowly worn down. The ship even took a few very damaging blows. The captain, having been very severely injured by the shrapnel of woods. Our two companions seemed to be facing certain doom in front of an enemy captain who has just greeted them warmly and seems to want, well, whatever they have. And this is where we left off. But to be fair, since Tobiyashi and Audience were those we were with when we left, we're gonna come back to Valtteri and Trevor. When we left, you had both been shoved, almost literally, inside of Ardo, and you are making your way back to the port city of Estrin, where you are supposed to meet the rest of your companion, because those who have drafted you don't want anyone to notice, or at least make it too obvious that you have been drafted, so you are being sent back expediently to the port city where you're supposed to meet your friend. Right now, you're sitting in Avardo, where you have been sleeping for who knows how many hours, while being watched by two pair of eyes, which Trevor has already cemented a solid friendship with, and Avardo is being piloted by Diviner Antasia, a what looked like human wizard with silver hair and a purple riding coat. So, Valtteri and Trevor, you both wake up. You're not sure exactly how long it's been, but nothing seems to have changed around you. You're still in the Ardo. You still see the sky moving slowly. from the small window that you have, seems to be a nice day. Few clouds, nothing more. It's still day, so most likely you're just a little later during the day, but you never know. Trevor, Tao is still watching the two eyes at the end of the Vardo. And Valtteri, you can just barely make out a still burning anger toward you. And this is what greets you as you wake up.
A burning what?
Anger.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that. Fudge.
Trevor, wake up, stretch. Just look at Tal watching the eyes.
He's valiantly watching them, silently, almost unmoving. But as you watch him, you see something slightly weird. You see him turn his head slowly, as all owls do. And you see in the background the two eyes watching Tao, slightly turning and watching you. And for some odd reason, as you're looking at Tao, it strangely feels like he's saying, I like him. And then he turns back and keeps watching him.
Okay. As long as he keeps to himself, I'll just communicate that telepathically to him. But and I'll just I'll start off and just say, tell Valtteri, I'm sorry about snapping at you yesterday about the dragon. It was just a very stressful day, so I just had to sleep and calm down a bit.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it was kind of a surprise for you too, so yeah. I guess it's not unusual to react like that when there's just like a little dragon appearing.
Yeah, that was quite a shock. Yeah, that was unexpected. Yeah, and like I said, it could have went a lot worse, I imagine. So, so how do you think Toby made it back to the ship?
I think he did. He is well, what it seemed, he's not that weak, so. Well,
Yeah,
I hope he made it back.
He seemed to be pretty fast. So what do you think of those two?
I mean, Toby doesn't seem that bad. He's really energetic when it comes to our traveling. Audience likes to talk and yeah, to talk a lot, and especially about dragons. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he doesn't concern me too much. Intense might be a little foolish with the dragons, but they are noble. But, yeah. Thing with him though is his blade might be sharp, but his wit, however, not so much. But yeah. But more times than not, a sharp mind can be a lot more dangerous than any blade. So I'm not too worried about him, but he has strength to do things I can't. So we each have our place there. But Toby, I don't trust him at all. He lied blatantly to my face. I mean, and knew that I knew, I mean, he had a grimace on his face that looked like he was in physical pain while he was trying to lie to me.
Well then, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know, he just tried to hide it. I don't know, but yeah, then had the nerve to tell me, when I met him back in town before we left, and he helped buy me something for the boat trip to hopefully not make me sick, but then he had to mention, just trust me. If it wasn't for the merchant putting the stuff right in my hand, I would question if he poisoned it. But he's the one to watch, I think.
Okay. Never thought that he could be a problem, but
yeah. See if he continues his lying, but yeah, just rubbed me the wrong way from the start.
yeah. By the way, speaking of them too, when we find them, should we tell them of all what happened over there?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, should we tell them about this spy stone, I guess what I should call it? I don't know.
I also don't know. I mean, they never told us that we can't tell somebody else, so...
Yeah. True. But who's going to stop them from telling our hosts when we get there about it?
True.
So we might have to feel them out a little bit on the way there and see. So has your friend come back yet?
Not yet. She sadly still seems to be really angry at me, but... yeah.
Well, she can get close enough. I might be able to help with that a little. Maybe I can talk to her if she'll let me.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, she might not be willing to talk to anybody right now.
and if she doesn't want to show herself, then she won't, so...
Yeah, well, if she winds up getting close by, if you can feel her, let me know, and I'll try and talk her down as best I can.
Do I feel her nearby right now? Or is she a little bit farther off?
Well, you don't feel her as in you can feel how close she is. It's sort of a psychic connection that she has that she can share with you. So basically what you can deduce by what you can feel is that right now she wants you to know she is pissed at you.
Got it.
If she just didn't want to talk to you at all, you wouldn't feel her at all.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Well, we're going to be on a long trip here together, so I don't know much to talk about. Maybe just get to know each other generally a little better. I don't know.
Sure, why not? How did you get Tao?
Well, that was a spell that I learned at the wizard school. Basically, you bind a fey spirit, and he was actually a vision of what my, I guess you could say, first friend was. So that's the image I made him in. But it doesn't seem quite like the bond like yours. He basically has to has to follow through with my commands. It's more of he is in my servitude, not a mutual bond as seems like yours is.
Yeah, I mean, we are friends, and I'm really happy that I have her.
So how did that come to be? How long have you known her now?
A few years now. I mean, when I was in the tribe, it was during the night, and yeah, that sounds a bit silly, I think, but I used to watch the moon now and then, and once I just felt her presence, and over the time I felt like things changing in my room out of a sudden, or something got knocked off, as like if I had a cat in my room or something. But then I felt like a weight on my shoulder or my lap, and once she was there showing herself.
Oh, that would freak me out so bad. It's something climbing on me and not knowing what it is.
I mean, my father, well, technically not really a father, but I guess you people would call him father, if, yeah, and he already knew kind of what it could have been, so he told me it might be a pseudo dragon, and he was right, so yeah.
That, what is this that us people would call a father?
He is a dragonborn, not a tiefling.
Okay.
Trevor, make an intelligence roll for me, please. Plain intelligence.
Okay. With my modifier? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 10, so 14.
Okay. What she just says sort of makes sense, because you remember hearing her talk in Draconic, and it's not something that you might actually have picked up first off, but when you think about it, it sort of feels, oh, well, that makes sense. Her accent is almost identical to that of Audience. She has a near perfect Draconic accent when she talks.
All right. Well, I did notice that Draconic, they taught us that one in the school because a lot of magic has Draconic origins, but how does a tiefling, because I've known one other tiefling before, but how does one tiefling get a dragonborn father?
Well, actually, family. I also have a mother, and I wasn't born in my tribe. They found me as a baby, and
So an orphan.
And at the beginning, none, because in the tribe we have not only dragonborns but also elves and humans.
Oh.
But nobody wanted to take care of me, I guess, when they found me, except that one dragonborn family.
Oh.
So that is why I got raised as a druid.
Oh.
and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. You're an orphan, actually. I am too, and he'll reach back into his bag and pull out that children's book. I seen you laugh at this, but there's a story behind it.
Oh, I wasn't like I wasn't like laughing at you. I thought it was really cute when I saw it, and I haven't seen. Well, I never really saw one of these. So
Never read a book?
well, I read a book, but we don't really have children books in our tribe. We have more like for studies.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, let's see. Well, I can tell you the story behind this book in Tao, and I'll hand it to her or whatever if you want to look it over.
I take the book, like look at the cover, and then look through
Okay.
some pages, but
Yeah,
still listen.
actually, I got a description I made up of the book and some of the little things on the inside, but it's about medium-sized book, about the dimensions of like a half a sheet of paper folded in half. I'd say about 3/4 of an inch thick leather bound, tooled into the spine. It has like Tales of Wonder and Common, and on the cover, it's like a montage of a flying dragon, a boat, a person reading a map, a treasure chest, and a glowing orb, and all seem to be floating above a hand that's up underneath them. And opening the book, you just see general tales of adventures and travels, some rhyming in poetic form, aimed at a little older children, 10 to 15, with some decently drawn imagery. And some of the pages see little droplet stains on them, but all right, that's it for the description. And it'll say, well, I'm actually an orphan as well. I never knew anything of my parents. I was dropped off there as a toddler, actually. I don't know exactly how old I was, but yeah, sound like once you got your family, yours was much better than mine, because being so skinny, all I ever got was picked on by the kids. And, yeah, male and female. Let's face it, probably most women are probably stronger than me, but but yeah, it's just how over time I just became reclusive and just stayed in my room and read. And this was one of my favorite ones, talking about adventures and travel and all, and and over the years, there was a owl used to fly up and sit in my windowsill while I was reading at night. So, he kept me company. So that's where my image of Tao came from. But even hiding in my room wouldn't keep him away at times. So eventually got fed up and ran away at, I think 13, 14, something like that. And that's the book I took with me, and every night since then I've read a little bit out of it, because no matter how shitty the day's been, it just gives me a brief time to the moments I was happy in my childhood. So it just gives me a little peace before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
So your tribe seemed to be a good mix of people. Did you guys ever go out to towns and cities, or were you all pretty secluded?
Well, it wasn't that far from me to get to the first town, but we don't go to towns really and look around. Most of my free time I stayed in the wild and watched some animals, maybe make some drawings.
Sounds quite peaceful. And a lot less complicated than out here. I almost envy you a little bit.
I mean, there is another kind of Dragonborn family who isn't really happy about me, but yeah.
Just because you're a tiefling, or
Because I hang out with their daughter.
yeah, I don't know how familiar you are with your kind, but they do have a certain stigma to them.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you're going. Just a warning. You might have a few problems out here in the world. I've known one before, and he had or has issues as well. So yeah, just be ready for it.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be a friendly face, as you've seen back at the Wizard Tower.
Yeah. Say, how did you even got into the wizard school?
Well, that's another good story there, which gives me an opportunity to tell you about my other friend, the tiefling that I'm mentioning. Well, Othar, he's a wizard as well, but he actually sponsored me into the school. He basically he's the one that saved me, but after running away, I spent some time with some other people, but I had to leave them, and eventually met up with a tiefling, looked pretty similar to you, had a lighter shade of purple, almost like a lilac color, but he was quite the musician and quite the charmer. I think he would even get you out of your shell within a few minutes. But let me find my notes on him. Sorry. I can only remember so much here. But yeah, he was quite the performer. It wasn't really an instrument he couldn't play. He'd have people in tears one minute, the next minute holding hands, dancing around in circles. But let me see. Yeah. And Tales of Woe and Hope was the name of his act. He was in a traveling caravan and he used to perform in the different towns and would make some money, to keep traveling and survive, But eventually we heard of a bigger caravan on another island, so we saved up our money and we was going to travel to that one. And on the boat ride over, I got sick. I mean, on the little half-day trip that we took before, that was nothing. This was like a 4 to 5 day trip like they're taking, and by the time I got there, I had such a fever, I couldn't tell you where I was or even who I was, but I'm not sure when my body shut down, but I just remember waking up at this place, some sort of religious order or whatever. They were super strict. I did not enjoy it, but Othar was the one that actually brought me out of it, and through his magic saved me somehow. I owe him everything, but I'm not sure exactly how long I was there, but from what I've heard, I was basically unconscious for close to a year. So yeah, that's where my fears of boats and the waters come from. So might understand why I was trying to take a shortcut now.
Yeah.
But after taking me in, after healing me. He took me in for a little while, noticed my love of reading, and suggested maybe wizardry and magic, and I had more things to read, so I took right to it and got me sponsored into the school.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, I'll hope to introduce you to both of them. Woe and Dothar are both great friends. So hope you get to meet them someday.
I'd love to. They seem really nice.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So apparently you don't do much traveling, so
I guess what you could say travel is only around the place where my tribe was, and yeah.
this sounds much simpler. If it wasn't for a love of books, I might be willing to trade you. So what do you think of the more structured magic that we do?
It seems really interesting, but I don't know if it would be something for me, to be honest.
How do you exactly get yours out of character? I don't know if I would know about druids or not, or would they touch on that in the magic school, or?
Well, yeah, of course. They would have talked a bit about the different kinds of magic. So, of course, there's the arcane magic, which is very structured, which is relies on learning how to draw the energy around you from different sources, sometime from the land, sometime from residual use from gods, different source, and giving it a shape. That clerical magic comes directly from a god, most likely paladins also. It comes from a god, which grants them these favors. So for many cleric, it's a very sure way, a very easy way to know if you are within the good graces of your god. As long as they grant you power, you are doing what they feel is in accordance with their own belief, with their own ethos. Warlock magic is a bit different, as it relies on a pact, and that can mean very different things. It can be a pact from remnants of a god. It can be a pact with an incredibly powerful creature, like divine creature, fiendish creature. You've even heard about primordials making deals like this. But warlock magic is a bit harder to qualify because of that. Druidic magic, as with ranger magic, is literally learning to be in harmony. Bless you. Literally being in harmony with nature around you. So it is slightly similar to your kind of magic, as you share one source, the land itself. But druids really go one step further in the harmony between them and nature. Because of that, because also gods often represent aspect of the world, some druid will worship nature gods. The best example is Mother Nature. It is a god, a very motherly god, but she is the embodiment of everything that nature is, as kind, warm, but also harsh and cold, all at the same time. And nature god often represent that. This is why there are often true neutral gods in nature gods. That's about as far as you would have went, because of course, since you've learned the arcane, and a lot of arcane practitioners sees their style of magic as being a little bit more refined, because it is basically using the raw energy, transforming it and reusing it. There is sort of a little arrogance in the fact that it is
that's
more
what I was
refined.
gathering too. Yeah.
Just like priests will sometimes have the same view of their magic as it comes directly from gods, which on its own are usually more powerful than the ambient energy that you'll find around yourself. So sometimes both of them can be a little arrogant. That's about it in terms of details.
Just basically just covered the basics on everything else, but yeah, we're going to focus on the good one, the arcane. So yeah, let's.
You know, the one for the truly intelligent ones.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll touch on that. It's like, yeah, well, I understand it comes from nature, but yeah, just general, just intrigues me. They didn't touch on it a whole lot, but yeah, just understand it comes naturally. So yeah,
Yes.
interested to see how that works later on.
I mean, for me, it just feels naturally, so I don't really know how to explain it to you even more detailed. It's
Yeah. I'll just watch you and study and maybe learn a thing or two.
I mean,
It's interesting.
Valtteri,
yes.
druids will sometimes look... no, I'll not look. They will often feel like wizards can walk a very thin line between using magical energy and abusing it. It is something that happens from time to time. If wizards try to draw too much power at once, they can actually kill the environments around them. And sometimes in very explosive wars, when sorcerers and wizards are asked to conjure extremely powerful magic, the land itself will wither. Sometimes just for a while, sometimes for centuries. So you've probably have been warned about wizards being magical practitioner that you have to judge on your own, case by case.
I mean, so far I haven't seen him do anything that could harm nature, so...
Just shooting fire bolts out in the woods. What could go wrong there?
As long as you hit the enemies, everything is alright.
Yeah.
As you share these thoughts with one another, you feel Vardo stopping.
Uh-oh. That's the eyes. What's going on?
You ask who?
The eyes in the corner over there.
Okay. So you ask the eyes. You hear? Well, you're the one standing under the window. Look yourself.
The window's above us, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, is it tall enough where if I stand up, I could peek my head out? Like,
No, you wouldn't be able to get your head through the window, but you can see outside, and you are starting to see that the sun is setting.
No, it's becoming night.
Is there a curtain I can open to talk to, what's her name, Diviner Antasia in the front?
Fantasia, yes.
Fantasia,
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
you asked me if you were writing it, if you wrote it correctly, and I'm gonna have to say, I don't know. It's a name that I've heard once. I've never been
Okay.
able to confirm it.
You-
I know it's.
I mean-
So
a
you
derivative-
didn't even really
derivative
write it
of-
down. You just
I mean,
Yeah, so it's basically you wrote it very similar to what I believe it is
Okay.
supposed to be. But yeah, no,
close
I
enough.
don't know.
I just
officially
write
what
it out phonetically, how I would
Yeah.
pronounce it. So it
I do the
works.
same. So
I mean, I
Um,
think in German it would be Antasia. So
well,
Yeah.
from what I've been able to learn, it is a derivative of Anastasia. But
Okay.
other than that, I don't know anything about it. So if anyone in the audience ever know where it's from, right now I don't believe anyone will, but maybe one day I'll probably have a Twitter account by then. Just send me the information, please. I'd love to know where it's from exactly. No, actually, there's no curtain facing the front, but there is what would be considered maybe graded no, not graded window, but more for ventilation facing the front. So you're guessing that the sound might carry, but you're not sure.
Okay. Oh, and just for the record, I just rolled an insight check on Valtteri for all that conversation. It was a 23. So is he lying to me about any of that?
If you want to lie about something, Valtteri, you would have to roll a deception. If you don't,
I,
If any of that
say
was a
that-
lie, then
I
then-
never lied, but okay.
Okay. No, if you didn't lie, then you don't have to roll one.
all
so
right. Well,
that's
Trevor, it feels
that was
like
just in case.
It feels like she has been honest with you all along.
Toby got me a little on edge there, so just checking.
It's more
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, he's a little paranoid. Yeah, he's got to make sure everybody's on the up and up now. So, all right. Well, I will yell out to Diviner Fantasia.
You don't hear anything right now.
Oh, I don't hear anything, or you don't.
No, she's
Oh,
not
she's just not
responding.
responding. Gotcha.
Maybe she heard you, but she's not responding.
Is the cart completely stopped?
Yep.
Is there a door I can get out?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see, if we're stopping for the night, and I'll hop out real quick and
Okay.
walk around. I was tell Tao to keep an eye on the eyes while I'm out.
All right. So, you open the back door of the Vardo, and you open it, and you see Antasia. That is, she's there. She was coming into the door, and as you open it, that saves me the trouble of entering. We're taking a break since we're going to be traveling throughout the night. The horses are starting to get a little bit tired. I'm gonna give them a few hours to rest. If you have anything you want to do, your own business.
Okay, where are we right now? Are we
Well,
close
actually,
to
we're-
anything?
No, we're not close to anything very interesting. We're maybe 10 or 20 minutes from a small farming village. It's a small place, maybe 6 or 7 houses, no more. So, you could always go there, but, I'm not sure you're going to find anything very interesting. But, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Let's see if Valtteri will want to for any reason, which I'm sure she's behind me and hearing this, but,
Yeah. You heard
so I'll
this.
forward it to her just in case she doesn't. But I'd like to have a little chat with you later during this rest. Will you be around?
Sure, I'm not going anywhere. I have to take care of the horses.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I'm like peeking at like, can I pet them?
And he'll just step to the side and be like,
If you insist, you
Yeah,
can. So Trevor lets you out.
Yep. I'll let you go do your thing.
I'm going out in front to the horses and yeah.
All right. So you get out of the Vardo. As you get out and you turn around, you see the horses. 2 horses. Beautiful horses. Very healthy. Almost unnaturally healthy.
Oh, one thing. As she's getting out, I will take the children's book back away from her and say, sorry,
Right.
it's more important to me than my spell book. So.
No problem. I forgot I still had that in my hand.
I did too, honestly. So yeah, I just wanted to let me have that back when you're leaving the Orno. Thank you.
What colorations do the horses have?
One is a mix of white and mostly gray with a few black spots.
Okay.
The second one is, well, most of it is black, and it has a few spots of a rusty brown color on it.
Okay.
You've never seen these kind of breed. They're very strong, very tall, slightly taller than a normal horse. And you've never seen these patterns on horses before, but you can easily recognize that there are horses.
Okay.
You can maybe assume that this is normal horses for Estrin, but you're not sure.
Do I have to do animal handling to make a good
I'd say yes, because
impression
they
of
don't
them?
know you.
Yeah. 11. 17.
Okay. Yeah, they let you approach them. And as long as you don't do any sudden move, no, they let you approach them. They let you pet them.
Okay.
Trevor, do you actually get out of the Vardo or do you stay on the door?
Not immediately. I actually was going to stay inside for a little bit and try something. So I don't know if you want to finish with her first or. let me do
Well,
my
is
thing.
there anything you'd like to do with the horses?
No.
No, I was asking Valkyrie,
Oh,
is there
okay,
something you
okay.
want to do with the
Like,
horses?
no, he's got no
Just-
interest in
just-
that. No.
Just petting.
All right. So no, she doesn't have anything else to do. You actually see Antasia making her way around the Vardo and starting a small fire. Well, using small magics. She just piles a few things around. You see her make a small incantation, and you see a puff of wind start moving, then disappearing, and you slowly start seeing small bits of wood making their way, seemingly on their own, piling themselves in a small campfire with a little stone ring around. And when everything's there, after maybe 20 or 30 minutes, you just see Antasia going beside the fire, and you see the fire burst into flame. Actually, the campfire start.
I'm a little bit impressed. Because I know that, but still, my character
I
doesn't
know. Yeah, I know. I'm messing with you.
So
Rue's impressed by a cantrip, man. Wait till we get through some other spells.
don't think it makes any sense to go up to her and ask if I could help with something because she did that on her own, so.
She does feel very. It does feel like she's very comfortable doing this. It's something that she's done several times before. And because of her coat, you can assume that she has adventured quite a few times. Because it's really not a coat that you've seen any wizard wear at all. Ever.
Oh. She's sitting at the campfire right now?
Right now, she's not sitting at, but she's close to it.
Okay. I'll go back to Trevor.
All right. So, Trevor, you have about half an hour if you want to do anything.
Okay. Well, while I was in there, and she did tell me that she mentally communicates with the pseudo-dragon, and she did give me its name, so I'm going to try and think to it or whatever and just say, Irina, are you out there? Just thinking all this in my head here, Can I have a word with you?
You don't feel anything. Actually, make an Arcana roll.
Okay. Oh, not bad. 13 plus... God. Oh, Jesus. 15 plus 6, that's 21.
All right. Well, you've heard about, of course, Pseudo Dragon. Not in many detail, but enough to know that you will hear from her only if she feels like talking to you. And Pseudo Dragon are very reclusive. They take a long time before choosing their friends. And there's a good chance that you might not hear anything from her, even if she is hearing you. So there is a chance that you will be talking to yourself. But there is a chance that she actually is nearby, because Valtteri could still feel her. And because of the speed at which the Vardo was going, it stands to reason that she probably was perched on the Vardo as you were moving.
Okay, well, I'll give it a shot anyway. I'm just thinking all this out in my head, but I was telling her, I know that you're mad at her, but if you'd be mad with anyone, direct it to me. I was the one that pressured her into this situation. She's a good person. I can tell. I know another tiefling. He was just as kind, but tieflings have a bad reputation for certain behavior, so she needs friends like you to make sure she stays on the right path. Even those with the best intentions stumble at times, just as I did. And it won't be my last, but she needs someone to comfort her, tell her it's okay, and help her better herself and keep moving forward. And I don't have that bond with Tau, so yeah. Let's see. I think we got a little bit of a connection, being both orphans there. So, let me see. But then and say, I almost envy your, more simplistic life. It's a lot more complicated out here, and she'll need to keep aspects of that simplicity of her life close, which you're part of. So do me this favor and I will return it in kind. Stay with her and guide her and keep her on the right path, and I'll do the same and protect her above anyone else.
So did you say all this out loud, or
no,
all
just
in
my head?
Okay.
Just in my head. Just trying to communicate it that way. I don't know if it reached anything or
okay.
Just keeping it to myself there. So leave it at that, and I'll close, and if you at least heard this, just give me something. You don't have to tell me if you liked it or not, just let me know you received it. Please.
You don't see or feel anything.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right. So, Tobiyashi in an audience before you fall asleep.
Yeah, I know that was a lot. But,
Okay, we're back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wake up. Wake up.
So,
Just had to go raise my family real quick. I'll be right. No.
so when last we were together, you found yourself at the receiving end of of several shots from the enemy captain. The boat pulled along yours and greeted you warmly and proclaimed its desire to become your friends. Although you sort of feel like it won't be a fair friendship. Audience, you were ready to just jump into action, but Captain of the ship told you to be patient. Tobiyashi, last time we were, I believe you were trying to climb the outer hull of the ship in order
Yes.
to go around and try to catch the captain,
Yeah.
which is not going to be easy. Boats are generally watertight, which means the outer hull is fairly smooth.
Okay.
And you will have to shimmy your way on the side on the railing, which goes up, the equivalent of a deck.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is what you saw when last we were together. Audience, around you, you saw the ship priest, Kantal, and nearby you also saw Grim. And this is what was happening. What do you do? The enemy captain just greeted you, and he is giving you a few moments to, well, react. But because of the way he was talking, it feels like he's pretty sure he has the upper hand.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
From peeking over like the little side thing, how many people did he bring on deck, or is it just himself?
Right now, there are no one. There's not even a plank connecting the two ships. The two ships have just... His ship has just pulled along yours, and he is standing on his ship, greeting you, proclaiming his desire to become good friends with you all. You don't see anything on the boat, but something feels odd, ominous about this ship. There is a fog, slight fog on the main deck, and the sails are slightly tattered. There's something unnatural about this.
Okay. Yeah, you go.
I can barely hear you. I think your
Yeah,
microphone is too far.
I am still standing. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still standing in front of the captain. I will, at the moment stop drawing my sword.
No, I
Or at
think
least
I think your microphone is not placed correctly because sometimes we can hear
No,
you
it's
and
too
sometimes
close.
the volumes drop. Maybe it's not sensitive enough.
No, it shouldn't have changed. No. It's the same how it always is.
I can hear you pretty good there, so try it. You moved it a little bit, so.
Okay, we're just gonna try here. Tell me if it goes back down.
Okay, sounds good
That
for
sounds
now.
good.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of lower my sword after the captain told me from last time to pick one fight, and I heard him greet me. And I'm going to hail him back. I'll be like, I'll say, let's see. Greetings. What is your name?
All right. So, do you stay where you are, or are you trying to get closer
Yeah,
to
I'm
the?
staying in front of. No, I'm staying in front of the captain.
Okay. Well, as you say this, you hear the other captain say, "Oh, you wound me. You mean you've never heard of me before?"
I have not been at sea much. I don't know, or in many port towns. I do not think I would have heard your name.
Oh, what a shame, what a shame. Well, I will educate you, since you so politely asked. I am the captain of the Skull ship. Many just call me the Skull Captain, but if you want to get on a more personal level, you can just call me Captain Stern.
Do you want to tell me of any of your deeds, Captain Stern, or why I would have heard of you?
Oh, well, I'm sure your imagination can conjure up many interesting image of what I might have done. As a matter of fact, you will most likely be a witness to this right now. And you see a plank go up, and the plank actually has a rope railing on them. It goes up, goes down on the side of your ship, and you see 1, 2, 5 skeleton, 10 skeleton. You see a stream of skeletons slowly making their way from their ship to yours. They're just pouring in. 12, 18, 20.
Oh, all this undead with a paladin, his blood's boiling right now.
Yeah.
I love his smile right now, like, everything is fine.
But even for a paladin of your courage, you know that over 30 skeleton at once is almost suicide.
Yeah. No, I do. Can I see any more on his ship, or are they all coming across?
Right now, you can see about 30, maybe between 30 to 36 skeleton on your ship, but the fog prevents you from seeing on his ship.
Alright. Tobiyashi, I'll let you go. So you can...
Okay.
So you've been peeking over the railing and you hear all
Yes.
this and you see all of these skeleton just pouring on your ship. And they're all wearing garments that are very fitting of pirates that you've seen in books.
Okay. So, did they fill up the whole deck? Like, is the whole deck just filled with skeletons?
Oh, I'd say maybe a quarter of it. You all see them all lined up, very orderly as skeleton can be. On the deck, they are waiting for command.
And
Most of them don't have any meat on them. It's really just skeleton with a few bits of damaged armor, chipped swords.
how far is the entryway to the lower deck?
Well, you'd have to go back on the ship, and there is usually one just below where the wheel is on the bridge of the ship. And there is also one made to put merchandise directly inside the ship, just behind the main mast.
How close are they to me? Can I see them?
From where you are, well, it's a bit hard seeing the floor trap that allows you to go inside the bow of the ship, but you would estimate that they are maybe 15 feet away from you. As for the door under the bridge, well, yes, you can see it, but I'd say very similar, 10 to 15 feet to where you are.
And there's skeletons in between me and those doors?
Right now, no, but you feel like it's gonna happen anytime soon. Probably
Okay.
within the next minute or so, when the other captain feels like the ship is scared enough.
Okay, I'm gonna oh gosh. Can I okay, so the skeletons, are they like facing towards me since I'm on the other side of the ship?
Right now, yes.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty hard. Alright, there's nothing else I could do. I'm just gonna hoist myself back over the edge of the ship, get back on, and well, slowly make my way towards one of the lower deck entries, just as casually as I can.
All right, casually, not stealthily.
Yeah,
All
as
right.
casually.
Start a little whistle.
Just like nothing's happening, just like
Doop-be-doo.
going along with my day, you know.
Well, as you hoist yourself up on the deck, you hear the captain of the enemy ship say, "Oh, I am sorry. I believe I might have blown a few of your crew off of the ship. I can see at least one of them managed not to be blown into the sea. It's good, it's good. Welcome back on board, mister."
Hello. I bow and I just let him keep talking to the audience.
To the audience or audience?
Yeah, to audience, or yeah, the audience, the skeletons, you know.
All right.
Everyone look at the big dragon. Ignore the man in the robes.
Yeah, ignore the man in the robes. He's just passing by.
Yeah, he's just there, just a simple bystander. That's all.
Yeah,
Just a crew.
just passing
All
around
right.
here.
So you hear the enemy captain looking at everyone say, "Well, I am not here to be a mean person. I will let you go, of course. But you know, those seas, they're mine. So I will be taking a fair share of whatever you have. If you just stay put, kindly, orderly, no one has to get hurt." He turns toward his army of skeleton and says, "Gentlemen, just take our share from their hold. if anyone gets in your way, you have my permission to kill them.
Just
And
get a
you
whole
see-
Negan from the Walking Dead vibe from that. We're going to take half your shit.
And you see the skeleton starting to animate, walk, and go directly inside the hull of the ship through, well, both of the entrance that you were actually hoping to reach.
Oof. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, I'll just stop, I guess. Since that's happening, I'm gonna go up to audience. Well, yeah, I'll go right next to audience and just I guess yeah, give up for now.
Is there anyone between? Are there any skeletons between us and the gangplank over towards their ship?
Oh yes, it's like looking at ants working. It's a constant stream of skeleton in a row walking from their ship to your ship down the hall and then going back with different crates, merchandise, and everything. You see the captain on the other ship slowly walking toward the gangplank, toward your ship.
Oh,
He's not in any
okay.
hurry.
okay. I guess I'll kind of look back at the captain, like who's still behind me after I healed him, like he's doing some better, and I'll kind of look at him and be like, "So we're just gonna let this happen?" It's like,
Of course not, of course not. But we need to learn a few things before we make an attack. First thing is, what are our resources? What can you do, little one?
to me,
Me?
What? Yeah. He's talking to you. He's asking what you can
Okay.
contribute to this.
I mean, I could safely say I could pretty easily probably take out 5 skeletons. I could probably take out another 2 to 3 with my breath attack. It's lightning. I have a few healing spells left. That's about what I can contribute.
Can I start talking to the captain while he's doing that?
Yes, of course.
I'm gonna go up and say, may I ask you one thing?
As long as you do it discreetly.
Yes. Oh well, no. I mean the enemy captain.
Oh, you want to talk to the enemy captain?
Yes.
Well, you can try to get closer. He did say to the skeleton if anyone
Well,
gets
yeah,
in
I
your
will-
way.
Stay in my position and call over to him.
All right.
Stern, Mr. Stern, Captain Stern. Don't know how to address you.
Oh,
Very
I guess
important.
for this time we will be lenient. What do you want?
I would only like to ask a question since you have the time and you're sitting here anyways, and we can talk a little if
He's still on his
You
ship,
wouldn't mind.
on his side of the gangplank right
Yes.
now.
Okay. How, if you wouldn't mind, how did you know where we were at in the sea? Like, how did you follow us since you were?
Oh, just luck. Just luck.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Of course.
Okay. Roll an insight check on that. I got a. What do we need? That's the insight. Oh, I gained nothing. Oh, I got a 7.
Ooh. It's a bit hard to read. Because of his voice, you have a gut feeling that he's hiding something, but you really can't read anything from his gestures, so you're inclined to say that he's telling the truth.
I'm gonna go on with
Well, you're in front of an enemy captain with skeleton walking in front of you. It's sort of normal.
Yeah.
Well, they think you're playing the nervous well there, so yeah, it works.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing pirates. I was gonna ask, how old does he look to me? By looking at.
Well, he looks like a human when in his early 30s, maybe even late 20s.
Okay. I kindly ask. You mind if I ask you your age?
Oh, I'm sorry. I prefer women.
Oh, not in that context. You just look pretty young to be I read there usually.
Your camera just froze, so I haven't heard anything you've just said.
Oh, wow. Okay. I said you're kind of young for being a captain of a ship. Most stories that I've read, they're usually much older.
Oh, that's very kind of you. You look young as well.
Oh yeah, yes. I am. Oh wow. Okay. So nothing.
Invite him out on the town. See if he wants to get drinks with us.
Yeah. You want to just since you want to be friends, you want to have a cup of tea. No, I'm just like,
Did you actually
Well-
say this, or were
Oh
you
no,
just
no,
joking?
no, no, no.
Because I can
No, I'm
answer
just
to
joking.
that.
I bow to him and I say thank you for speaking with me, and I turn back around and I look around the deck. Do I see Grim anywhere?
Yes, he's very close to audience.
Okay. And I walk towards audience and
Okay.
All right. In the meantime,
Nice.
the captain of your ship kept asking what everyone could contribute. So you said you had a few healing spells. When you say that, yeah, so you're experienced enough to use spells. What else?
I have some holy spell. I have some holy things I can do to my weapon, which would be good against the undead.
Yes. All right. And he turns toward Grim and says, "And you, what can you contribute?" Grim's look at him and say, "Oh, well, I am dragon. I can contribute fire." You see the captain just... Oh, yes. All right. Anything else? I'm small. All right. He turns toward the priest and says, "What do you have left?" She says, "Most of my spells are gone, but I was able to get this before they came on board." And she takes a little container. Seems to be made out of wood and metal. And there's a rune on one side. It's a cube shaped, roughly the size of a fist. And she shows it to the captain and says, "Oh, that's at least a good thing. Anything else?" You see Cantel focus for a few moments, and just as Tobiyashi comes back, she says, "I'm not sensing anything from their ship. There's only one living person in their entire ship. It's the captain. You see the captain? Oh, that's interesting. So he is most likely controlling everything. If we take him out, we can regain the ship.
Cut the head off of the snake, as they say.
Audience starts scheming. I seen that smile.
Any of you
Honest,
can.
right? It's gonna full on attack this boy. Just take him out.
Small one, you seem to be ready for an assault. You've been getting more anxious as we've been talking. Do you have a plan?
Well, I noticed that the captain seems to have quite a bit of an ego. I was gonna first, say as, friends, we should perhaps, get some drinks together. And then, afterwards say, why don't we, test each other's strength and challenge him to a duel. And then perhaps I do have a spell that can compel him to duel if need be, but I'd rather try and persuade him first. And then if we can compel him to a duel, I could see if I could beat him, in which case we could probably, the crew would snap out from under his control.
Well, that is one possibility. Unfortunately, if all he has to do is give a command, we have to find some way to make sure the skeleton army doesn't barge in this little duel. Yes?
Well, since they're coming out in and out of bottom deck, single file, if someone could close the doors real quick, they could be trapped underneath the boat, but I don't know what kind of damage they could do under there.
That is a good point. Well, his guns are still pointing at us. So,
But if he's on the ship, he won't risk firing. If he's on our ship, he won't risk firing on us, because it would blow him up as well.
That is also a good point. So, we need to separate him from his skeleton army, and then you want to try to duel him. Well, we can do this two ways. You either convince him to duel you on his own, or we create a diversion and you rush him.
We should probably start with me just trying to convince him, since the second option seems far riskier, because if he gives a command and enough skeletons get between me and him before I can attack him, I mean, there are too many skeletons. We probably won't. It'll be basically suicide. Won't be able to get through all of them.
As you say this, you hear Grim say, "Oh, I can make a diversion."
I turn to him.
I'll make sure everyone's looking at me. But you better be quick. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to keep this up.
Okay. I say, let's.
Our NPC dies.
Oh. Okay, so
I say-
It's a
what's
kobold.
the plan? What's
He's
going on
bound
here?
to be a little more enthusiastic that he has to.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, let's hold off on your diversion for now. Let me try talking to him first.
All right. So, we need some way to make sure that you. How do I know if I need to help? How do I know if diversion is necessary?
If he doesn't agree to fight me will give you if he like won't agree to duel me, that's how we'll know.
All right. So, if it doesn't work, just don't stay near him.
All right.
I'm
I
gonna
turn
get
towards.
I'm gonna
turn
go get in
towards-
position just in case.
Okay.
And
I'm
you
gonna
see him
turn-
just throw off and slowly shimmy its way on the railing as if no one was looking.
Oh, gosh.
I turn towards Tobiyashi and the captain and the priestess. I'm like, does this plan sound like the best course of action?
Well, if we can separate his army from him, yes, of course. I can help your friend maintain his distraction. We'll act, me and Kentel, as a barrier.
Okay.
Can you and your friend manage the duel with him? You might
I think there's-
have to worry about a few skeletons that might still come your way. We don't know how many there are on his ship.
All right. I'll turn towards Tobiyashi. You got my back.
Definitely. If anything comes
Alright.
down to it, I'll help you.
All right. Okay. I'll then turn because everyone seems to be in agreement. I'll be like, all right, let's all get into position then. Kind of
You
let
see,
them get into position.
you see Kentel give the cube to the captain, and you still see Grim slowly making his way through to almost the complete front of the ship.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes.
How many of the crewmen are on deck?
Right now, you can see maybe 10, 12 crewmen on deck. Some of them are tending to severely wounded crew member, and some seems to be a bit panicked about what's going on. You know there are at least twice this many people on the ship when everything is going well. You don't know how many died below deck, and you don't know if anyone has been killed by the skeleton below deck. But there is a potential of almost twice that many below deck.
Okay. I will like walk around and try to quietly relay the message to people who aren't tending to wounded people, and tell them to when the little cobalt in the front causes a distraction, to help me cover the doors so the skeletons can come out.
Okay. You are trying to do this
Stealthily.
without the captain noticing?
Yes.
Well,
So,
while he's doing this, I'm gonna start talking to the captain, so it's
Okay.
less obvious.
so I would say make a... So you are trying to not make it obvious. I would say performance, because you're trying to make sure that probably he believes you are helping to tend to the wounded. So
Does he
you,
get an advantage because audiences distracted him?
oh, because he's talking to him. All right, yeah, I'll give it. I'll give
Okay.
advantage.
Teamwork, man.
Yeah.
You're not
That
there.
is a 14.
Okay.
Straight 14. I don't have any.
Teamwork with what they have, anyway.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
All right. So you feel confident that you haven't been noticed.
All right. I'll be talking to the captain every time. I'll be like, Captain Stern, my friend.
My good fellow dragon.
Is he a dragon?
No, he's human.
Oh, he just said fella. Okay, he's fella. Okay, I was like, I didn't know this guy was. But okay, I'll be like, so I actually just remembered. I think I had read a story about you. It just seeing you and all these skeletons. It jogged my memory. I had heard that you are one of the greatest, if not in fact the best, duelists on the entire high seas.
Oh, now this is an interesting compliment. And where might you be trying to go with an opening like this?
Well, I come from... This is going to be not a complete truth, but... So, I come from the Dragonborn capital, as you know, which is quite a martial place, Cahornath Hill. And there I was recognized as one of the greatest duelists in the city.
How interesting.
As a fellow master of the art, I was wondering if you would be so kind as to perhaps make a small wager.
Oh, and what that wager might be?
The wager would be that we would have a duel, the two of us, no one else involved, to see who was more skilled. If I lost, I would give you this, and I pull out the coin that I have around this ancient, very valuable coin that possesses some magical ability. But if I were to win, you would leave our crew. You would leave our crew mates and leave the ship with your crew.
All right, make a deception roll.
Okay, that's probably deception and persuasion. There was a lot in that.
Well, because it is a lie in some part, it is a deception. You're trying to persuade him by making yourself look like someone that will increase his renown if he beats you.
Okay, I got a 16.
Okay. He says, well, this is an interesting proposition. How about a counter proposition? If you win, I let you go. But if I win, I get to bolster my rank with half of your crew. I choose which half.
Okay, I'll say. All right. Sounds fair to me.
Oh boy.
And you find out he's a level 20 rogue.
How are we going to
Level
deal with half of our crew?
I mean, I don't even know if he's a famed duelist. I just said that. I just said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I have no idea.
Play to his ego. There you go.
He looks around on the boat and says, well, I believe everyone interesting is on deck right now. So how about this? I choose anyone alive on the deck, beside me, of course. You will all join me if you lose.
Okay. Very well. Sounds good.
All right. He crosses the plank. Get on your ship. tells every skeleton on board, "Listen, gentlemen, we have an agreement on a bargain. We are to duel. If anyone interferes in the duel, kill everyone and sink the ship."
I have a question. Who had that box? Did I see that who had the box?
The little box? Yes.
Yeah.
The captain has the little box that Kental had retrieved.
Okay, I want to go over and talk to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper, while he's making his grand speech or whatever it is. And, I ask him, well, what the little box is.
A friend that we can use to assist in this battle.
Okay. Then I'm gonna look over to where, he just crossed, like, his plank area.
Mhm.
How is it on the boat? Like, how is it attached to the boat?
Well, from your side, it just seems to have been lowered and anchored with small hooks, maybe size of half a hand, that'll just dug into the wood. On his side, you don't know. You can't see it. The fog is too thick on his ship.
Okay. Alright, and then I'm just gonna place myself to where I am watching this battle.
All right. So
I'm
you've
gonna
heard.
actually say, but right before we start, after you do this speech, I'm gonna say, real quickly, I need to go talk with my trainer and make one last minute preparation.
All right.
My spiritual advisor.
Yeah, my spiritual. I need to. So I'm gonna go over to where Tobiyashi and the captain are.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to Tobiyashi. I'm gonna say, so if things start going poorly for me, basically just start the second part of the plan. Like,
Okay.
start
I will.
it. I'm gonna turn to Tobiyashi. I'm gonna be like, you need to just rush him basically with me. I'll try and keep him.
Definitely.
Then I'm gonna turn to the priestess. I'm gonna be like, I don't know if you have even any slight healing left, but if I could get topped off before this duel, that would be honestly great, since I'm fighting for.
I don't have much. I only have this left. She reaches.
I know we need 3 hit points. So.
I know, but she reaches in a pouch located in, almost at the in the middle of her back. She takes out a little glass ball and she says, "Take this. There's a spell inside, a healing spell. If you need a heal while you're fighting, just break it. It'll release the spell."
Okay.
So in game mechanics, if you break it, it's going to release a cure wound, basic level,
Okay.
on you.
Okay. Is it a bonus action to break it or a full action to break it?
I was debating this with myself, and I came to the conclusion of, bonus action.
Okay. I will save it, then I won't use it right now. Okay.
That's nice.
I'll thank her, and I will walk back towards kind of the top of the deck where it's like raised almost like a stage, and I'll kind of draw my great sword and kind of get ready for whenever the captain, feels like starting this thing.
All right. Well, we're at our half point, so we'll be taking our break right now. And as we come back, we'll see. We might start directly with the duel, or we might go back to the other half of our party, see how they are faring. So, see you all in 10 minutes. Good break.
See ya.
See you.
Welcome back, everyone. All right. So, well, I was going to say not to be mean, but actually it is. So we're going to say I'm going to be slightly mean, and we're going back to Valtteri and Trevor. Yeah, I know. It's the privilege of being the dungeon master. So,
Yeah, keep the
Valtteri
suspense up.
and Trevor. Valtteri, you have just witnessed Diviner and Tassia making a fire, seemingly with very little means, almost as if she was able to control the twigs and logs and branches from the forest that just slowly made their way into a little pile, and she just snapped her finger and fire came out. And Trevor, while that was going on, you were thinking to yourself, hoping someone was hearing your thoughts.
Well,
What did you do once you finished talking to yourself? Because you probably have another 20 minutes before you catch up with Valtteri.
after that, I'll just telepathically also communicate to Tao that new rule: if we ever get into combat, anyone that's attacking Valtteri, the druid, I don't know if he knows who she is yet, I'll say the one with the horns, distract whoever's attacking her first above anything else. And unless I tell you different. And at the same time, I will be thinking of Tao and... read her name here. What the hell is it?
Arena?
Arena, yeah, okay. Can't read my own handwriting sometimes, but yeah, I'll try and think of both of them so maybe she can hear me telling Tao this as well. So then after that, then I'll probably go outside.
As you say this, you see Tao slowly turning his head toward you, as all owls do. Blink and turn his head back toward the two eyes at the end of the Vardo.
Yeah, do I at least get a feeling that he acknowledged and accepted it?
No, yes, Tao, no
Okay,
problem.
all right. I know he's supposed to obey my commands. I just want to make sure freaking freaky eyes over there ain't messing with him in some way. Okay, all right. I'll go out and well, hopefully that went well.
So you step out of the Vardo.
Yeah, I'll step out of the
All right.
Bardo, then I'll say that when I get out. I'm like, well, hopefully that went well.
So as you step out of the Vardo, you hear behind you someone saying, "Oh, well, it's about time," and you hear, and you see the Vardo shaking up and down, and you see this creature standing right behind you in the doorway of the Vardo, about 1.5 feet tall, made of solid rock. He looks at you. Shove over.
I'm assuming it's got the same eyes that I was seeing
No,
off in the corner there.
actually, you don't see eyes on him.
You're a little small for a golem.
Aren't you a little small for human also? Jeez, you never can please him.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my traveling companion's stronger than me, so yeah, point taken.
I'm not that strong, but okay.
No, you're stronger than me.
So my question is, do you look back inside the Vardo before the door closes, or do you keep going? Tao is still in
sure.
there.
Yeah, I'll say, come on out, please. I don't trust you two in there alone.
So you turn over and ask Tao to come, or you just signal him
Yeah.
mentally and keep going?
Well, I'll tell him to come,
All right.
please.
All right. So Tao just comes out of the Vardo, and you see this rock creature make his way out, and as soon as his last feet touches the small stairs coming out of the Vardo, you see the Vardo go up a full feet.
Oh, from this little rock guy stepping off or whatever.
Stepping off, yes.
And that's not the same set. That's not the thing that had the eyes in the corner, right? I'm still kind of keeping an eye on that as Tao is coming to me. I don't trust that.
So
thing,
you're looking through Tao to see this?
Oh, well, I thought you said, he was coming to me while the door was still open, so
Yes.
I was kind of still looking off into that corner where the eyes were as he's coming to me. So
Okay.
So do
Well-
I still see the little eye thing back there as he's coming to me, or did it disappear?
Well, when he talked to you, he was in the doorstep. So did you watch him before that, or did you start looking back when he started to talk?
Well, I would say I would have to look forward when I got out, but as soon as I heard that thing, the Vardo shaking or whatever, I'm sure I would turn around and see what
Okay.
the hell was going
Well-
on there.
You saw... What you saw was something fall to the ground of the Vardo from where the eyes are and walked all the way to you. The eyes are still at the end of the Vardo. But he did came from the same direction.
Okay. I'll just leave it at that for now. But after he came out, if I look back, are the eyes still there, or is it
Yep.
just black in the corner? Okay.
No, the eyes
All
are
right.
still there.
All right. You just kind of squint at it and then just shut the door and after Tao gets out.
All right. So you make your way around the Vardo, and you see the rock creature just going around you and going toward where Antasia is.
And I'll follow him up into Antasia and say, is this your creation?
Oh, he's not my creation. He's Bob.
Bob.
He looks at you and says, well, I'm sure you have a pretty name also. Sheesh.
It's basic. I appreciate that.
You see Antasia look at you and said, well, I met him and I thought he looked like the Bob. So I've been calling him that ever since.
Well, fair enough, because the Vardo kind of bobbed as he was walking through it, so, yeah. I get it.
His name can go well with almost anything. You know, it's Bob.
Yep. So, need my assistance with anything while we're stopped? I'm pretty sure you can handle it all yourself, but that's the offer. Whoa.
We're sinking.
Somebody's alarm went
We're
off.
sinking.
Oh,
I
wait.
totally forgot I had an alarm set at that
Okay.
time.
Oh,
Because now is all the time I wake up. I'm so sorry.
no problem.
It's,
said-
it's the wrong
Somebody
group
had
that-
an alarm spell set? What the?
It's the wrong group that had the alarm. That would have been better for the other two. No, actually, she doesn't need anything. The fire is already roaring and warm and cozy. You can even smell a faint odor of flowers in the air.
Okay. All right. Well.
She invites you to sit down, and you see Bob just making his way around, going toward Antasia. And he
Yeah,
sits
I know.
down beside her.
All right, I'll have a seat and say, I know you're not pleased about having to make this trip, but at least try and make some nice conversation to try and make it as pleasant as possible for you here. But mind if I ask you a few questions that I kind of missed back at the tower?
Oh, well, sure, why not? We're here for a few hours.
Well, yeah, I was actually ported to this school, but nobody actually told me the name of it. I was just curious.
Well, the school is Theodrin School. You might actually have heard of it under a different name, the School of Three Towers. I'll even let you make an intelligence check, see if you've heard of this. I would say history.
Oh,
intelligence.
natural 20.
Oh, well, of course you've heard of it. Immediately when she says that, oh, yes, of course. You remember that school. Actually, the name of the school is the name of the founder of the school, Theodrin, half-elf. His hope was to create a school to mirror the great academy of Kohornathil, where everyone could come and learn magic. The three towers represent human, elves, and all other species of lesser magical inclination. So the third tower was basically for everyone else that actually had talent, but not from a species that usually have great talents, like dwarves or halflings. Unfortunately, his successor didn't have the same ambition, so the school never grew beyond what he had built when he died, and so the school remained a school whose reputation doesn't really go beyond Estrin.
Okay. All right. So it's pretty localized there. Gotcha. All right. And the other two in the room, who were they? They didn't seem forthcoming with their names.
Oh, well, no. I guess not. Well, the human is actually the current headmaster of the school. And, well, I was going to try and tell you his name, but we only know his last name, Gunthero. We just call him Headmaster Gunthero. He's all right if you give him a chance. He mostly felt a bit taken by surprise by the fact that you just appeared in his school unannounced, and the magical ward did detect someone leaving the room just before everything activated. So there was the possibility of someone extremely powerful trying to force his way in.
Yeah, apologies again for that. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing.
We are a school. Most of the defenses are non-lethal. So you can imagine that he was, for a while, worried about the other students.
Yes, very understandable. And please, when you talk to him again, give him my sincerest apologies for that. Like I said, it was kind of the spur of the moment thing, and it was rather late. But
And of
the boat
course,
trip, yeah, I just have a very valid phobia of water travel. So
yes, I can imagine. And of course, two stranger, including a tiefling, materializing in the middle of a school with these coins, with magics that are so powerful, that goes beyond anything we have ever had. Well, that was just... distraught.
Yeah, it's taken me back to receiving this mysterious letter and coin and being summoned to this area. I'm not sure why it's me myself, but I feel I should at least see it through.
Oh, I can understand that. Still, next time try not to come unannounced in school bearing magical artifact which have power rivaling those of actual artifacts.
Yes, I will. If we come back again, I will be sure and try and ask them to use a sending for me and give word before we arrive.
Yeah.
And who was the other one? Oh, sorry, out of character. Which one was Guthro? Was he the elf
Human.
or the human? Okay. Okay. And what about the other one? What the other one, elf or?
Oh, yes.
I can't remember.
Well, yes, he was an elf. Well, let's just say that he has a lot of names, a lot of which you don't speak in front of children. As for his actual name, Taliesin. He is a conjurer. He's not of the school. He's more of a consultant.
Say that name again for me one more time.
Taliesin. Thalassane.
Okay.
So yeah, he's more of a consultant. We usually don't call him unless it's something important. He is very prominent and extremely talented. And probably not the best choice when having to interact with tieflings.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I wish you would have called Othar. It would have been much more pleasant.
Yeah, but his problem with tieflings isn't their usual reputation. It's something else.
You have some bad experiences with him or something?
No, actually, he's a devout follower of the sleeping agent philosophy, which came out shortly after the War of Aberration. Valtteri and Trevor, if you're both listening, I will allow you to make a history check for this.
Which,
Have to.
yeah, that's not as good.
13.
13 for me.
Okay.
19.
Oh. Alright. Well, it makes sense since you're a tiefling that you would have heard a little bit more about this. But Trevor, the philosophy of the hidden agent of... Oh, okay.
I'm still here. I can
Okay. So you haven't heard anything about the philosophy of the hidden agent, but you have heard about the War of Aberration, which is a war which engulfed most of the northern hemisphere, during which, as the name suggests, aberrations started pouring into the world and just waging war. The war itself lasted for a very long time, coming in waves. Ever more devastating, always pushing back the defenders. No, you don't know how it ended, you just know it ended at one point. Valtteri,
Yes.
you've heard about this, but you've heard a little more, and seeing as how you're a tiefling, it would make sense that you've heard about this philosophy. During the War of Aberration, a lot of aberration have this ability to seed captured people or prisoners or even wounded people, and transform them from the inside into their own species. But some aberration developed the ability to just see the person and transform them into a sleeping agent, which they would awaken at different occasions to cause discord and distrust within the rank of the defenders. When the war finished, however, a lot of people were scarred by this, and a lot of people started to believe, to make an association toward tieflings and their history. Some started to believe and fear that tieflings might be creatures that could be triggered by this god which they made a pact with if it ever decided to invade. So a lot of people started to fear and believe that all tieflings could actually be sleeping agent, that if this god wanted to overtake the world, he could just snap and instantly gain an army throughout the world.
Well then. Hey.
Alrighty then.
So do you share this with Trevor or not?
I will share that with him.
So Trevor, this is the first time you've heard about this.
That's quite interesting.
So Antasias keeps going and says, well, this is why he doesn't trust tieflings and why he acted so rudely with you. I'd say it's not personal, but actually it is for him, so...
Well, it wasn't, but he still didn't have no right to treat my friend like that.
Well, anything that would reduce the influences of a tiefling would be for someone like him.
Yeah. Well, we'll just keep that in mind if we ever have to deal with him again. Might want to tell her to wait behind.
He is an elf. His family did, his ancestor, not him, but his father was a part of the war as it started. So it is something personal to him. He never lived it, but he heard his family talk about it. So it is a lot closer for long-lived species like him.
Yeah, I lived in a elven village for a little while, so I know how they hold on to their history. Well, hopefully that will never come about. Maybe this might be related to it in some way.
You never know. It's not a widely followed philosophy, but you will meet people who believe in this every once in a while.
Great.
Yeah, I told you the world has problems with tieflings. It's a lot more complicated out here, but that's the first time I've heard of that issue, though. And yeah, that's quite a bigger issue than I was used to hearing with WoW. But
the War of Aberration scared a lot of people. No one was able to stop them. No one knows why. They just stopped attacking. But one day, their reinforcement stopped, and unlike before, after a few years, it didn't start again. They just lost their reinforcement, and that is why they lost the war. A lot of people find it distressing to know that if they had kept receiving reinforcement, we would have lost eventually.
yeah, fair point. Yeah, well, definitely keep that in mind and try and find any clues on that. You know, try and maybe dig deeper on that as we go along. But Is there anything in particular you look to gain out of this? Anything specific you want me to look for while we're at this meeting in the gathering in the garden?
Oh, actually, I just wanted to have something because they were forcing me to make such a large detour. I was actually going north.
Oh,
Sorry about that. That's what I said. Is there, if there's something specific, I'm trying to make this as pleasant for you as I can. So, anything specific you would like to learn, I might be able to. I'll try my best to find any that information.
Well, as you've heard, I'm a diviner. So, I mostly specialize not in seeing what the future holds, but in analyzing magical items, where they're from. So, well, I'd say if you ever encounter anything that feels strange, that you're not sure where it's from, or have origins you believe I might not know, I'm always open to learning more about these. Well, otherwise, I still reserve the right to at least call you once. And don't worry, I'm not gonna call you like that elf would. He will probably not be gentle about this.
Yeah, I've had teachers like him. I'm quite used to it.
Oh, I doubt you have something like that. Like
Yeah.
I've said, he bears many names, many of which you should not say around a campfire with children.
Yeah, I've dealt with loudmouths like him, and also bullies, and I've learned how to handle them. So,
Well, I hope
so
it doesn't come to that.
nothing new that I'm used to. So,
But if you ever have any weird ideas, I will remind you he is a very prominent and powerful wizard.
oh, I'm not looking to start a fight. I know how to roll with the punches, so to speak, and yeah, and just take it in stride.
Alright, very well.
But
Well,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, actually, I was just about to get up again, make another round with the horses. We'll be leaving in about 2 hours, so we're just going to make sure that everything is fine and we're ready to go. We're going to be
Okay.
traveling throughout the night.
I just have one more question about this stone. I know they told me it was none of my business, but can you tell me a little bit about it? Is there a special place they'd like for it to be hidden? Could it be underground?
Oh, I think they really meant anywhere.
Okay.
They're hoping that its arcane imprint is too low to be detected. Just like when someone starts becoming very advanced in their knowledge and their technique and what they have learned, sometimes they forget about small and crude devices or little enchantments which feels unimportant. They're hoping that it will be something like that. So I think anywhere will do.
Okay. Well, I will drop it off. If it's found, I cannot promise because, as you've discovered, we're dealing with a strange new type of magic. So, who knows how mundane of things they can detect? So, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Just don't hold it against me if it's found.
And if you ever learn where this magic leads, I will be interested in knowing.
Yeah, I will. As am I. You know, first, I will definitely be asking about these coins. So, you know, any information I learn about them, I will relay to you as well.
Very well.
For a start.
All right. Well,
Thank you for your time.
no problem. No problem. Yeah, living in a school isn't always easy, but hey, they fund my expedition, so I don't mind. I don't mind teaching every once in a while.
Yeah, I might like to get on that action someday.
So I will leave you to the campfire for whatever time remains. In 2 hours, just follow Bob. He'll get you back into the Vardo. I'd suggest letting him go up first.
Yeah. After his exit, I see that would be a good idea, and as long as you want to remain upright.
Yeah, well. Yeah. He's a kind elemental, don't worry. Just like a lot of the elementals that you'll find on Estron, you know. A lot of them are very nice, if you treat them nice. If you don't, well, they can level cities sometime. Not this one, but some of them can.
Yeah, I've seen our golem at the school, you know, have to
Oh,
get
golem.
activated once, and I could only imagine that multiplied. So yeah.
Yeah, golems are created. Elemental creature or just elemental force incarnated. Fortunately for Bob, it is a minor elemental force, but you will find more elementals in this world than in many worlds described in book. So maybe it's just our world, or maybe it's because we don't have a lot of information about other worlds.
Well, I look forward to seeing them, and hopefully they remain friendly. But yeah, I do appreciate your time, and just give her a nod so she can go. I know she has other stuff to do.
Alright, so she goes back to the horses, keeps tending to them. Valtteri and Trevor, you have about 2 hours. So, is there anything you'd like to do?
While we were talking, I already started making a drawing of Bob.
I'll send you a description of Bob, so if you ever have to describe what you've seen, you can describe him, or at least what you drew of him.
Thank you.
Alright. So, like I said, you have 2 hours. If you don't have anything else to do, I'm gonna go back to our 2 other members. Otherwise, now would be the time to say it.
No, I think I'm good for now. I just stare at the fire and chill and watch
Okay.
Valtteri draw and you know, have a
All
peek at what when she's done.
Alright. So, audience and Tobiyashi. We go back to you on the ship. And audience, everything is being prepared for the duel. You see the pirate captain in front of you, strutting confidently, drawing a sword, and grinning confidently at you.
I'll grin confidently back.
All right.
Can I do one thing?
Yes.
Okay, so like while everyone's watching this, I'm gonna go into my bag, and if I can, I want to cut 4 feet of hemp rope off my rope,
Okay.
and cut that in half, and so it'd be 2 feet each, like two
Yep.
each, and I'm going to tie them to my wrist to try to mimic my master's way of fighting.
Okay.
And then I'll just wait there, hide them under my robe.
Okay. Which masters are you? Which master are you trying to mimic?
Oh, the exiled. Did I forget his name? Forgot.
All right. So what is your intention with this around your wrist?
Just to usually just to like mainly a distraction or a to help me grapple.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, audience, are you ready for this duel?
Yes. Yes.
So, let's roll initiative.
Right. He will be going
Just
first.
got deja vu.
Really?
That's actually good. I'll get that bad roll out of the way now. That's actually good.
What's your initiative?
5. No, 6.
Well, he has 4, so you go first.
What? Okay.
He rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Both of us were too busy grinning each other confidently. We're like, you go. No, you go.
Like, no, you first. No, you.
It's like you
No,
guys are just like,
you. All right. Deciding that I guess I should attack. I'll rush at him and take a swing with my greatsword.
All right. Roll for an attack.
Which will. Oh, okay. We're starting off with a nat 20, I guess.
Oh,
there-
goodness.
There we go.
Well, you hit, of course.
A crit. All right, and I'll use a divine smite. So,
Oh, yes.
that's 2d8. Okay, I'm gonna roll a lot of damage right now.
Sure, go ahead.
That's going to be okay. Let's see. So for the
Oh,
attack,
your divine smite doubles too. Don't forget.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, it does. I played a paladin. Yeah, when you
Oh,
crit,
does
because
it?
that's
Does it
part of your
actually?
attack, that doubles
Oh
as
my
well.
god! All right. Well, there's my d8.
I've only played a cleric.
That's gonna be.
We're gonna do
Yeah, I
this.
played
For
my
my
evil
regular
Oathbreaker paladin, so yeah, I know
attack,
all about that divine smite. That's why it's their bread and butter, man. They dump them on them crits.
Yeah. So the 6 plus what? 6 plus. Oh wait, it's 2d6. 6. 10 plus 4 is 14. So for my regular attack, so it's 14 double, so that's 28.
Nice.
And plus my divine smite, so that's another 2d8. So that's okay. So that's 6. So then that's doubled to 12. So on my first attack, I will deal 36 damage to him.
Nice. Well,
I hope-
that was an interesting opening. Your hit strikes him very hard, and you actually see a bit of blood trickling from his sides. You've actually managed to hit something important in him. However, he does seem a little bit rougher, but he is still standing.
It's my first attack, though. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna say, and that was just my opener, and roll for intimidation. Because I actually hit him hard enough that it was actually like, damn, okay. Oh, I'm not intimidating. I got a 4. He's
It
not
shows that
intimidated.
it shows that you were surprised by how this actually came out.
I was like, fuck, okay.
You say, "Holy dragons! See how good I am!"
I just stopped.
looks at the
paused,
sword,
dramatic
like-
position.
It's like, looks at his sword, holy shit, and then tries, and yeah, that was just my opener.
Asking in his own glory.
I'm like, the dragons must have blessed me today. Ugh. I mean, that was just my opener. I'm normally this good. What are you talking about?
So the captain looks at you and says, "Ah, very interesting." And he charges you. And
But
he goes with... Good lord. Well, I'm pretty sure he missed because it's a 4, a 6, and a 3.
yeah, those all miss.
So he makes 2 attacks with his scimitar and doesn't even graze you. And just as you believe that he finished making all of his attacks, he just draws a dagger and tries to hit you once again with his dagger, but you notice it just in time and manage to dodge it.
Yeah, that Blade Master training coming in handy. My defense is too good now. But I go
Yep,
with the
that's it.
Napton.
All right, well, that's his action for this turn.
All right, back to me.
Yep.
All right, I'll take a swing at him again. I'm like, all right, maybe this will be easier than I thought. I'm like, does a 14 hit?
No. You swing and miss.
Fuck. Damn it.
Basking in your own glory, you let your confidence guide you, and it falters.
Rip. All right, his turn.
He grins at your miss and charges you again. With
He doesn't get great. He just missed 3 times.
Oh yeah, but he only has to hit you a few times before you're taken down. So the first one is a 17.
Oh, that ties.
So the first hit is a 6.
6 damage.
Yeah.
All right. Ow.
Second hit with his centaur is 16.
Nope. That just misses. I just dodged that one.
And he tries to hit you again with his dagger with a 15. Which misses again. That's his actions.
All right. So far, it seems pretty even, but I gotta do a lot more than he does. So. Keep this up. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a. That's a 24. Hopefully that hits.
Yes, it does.
All right. No crit this time, but we'll. And I'll divine smite again.
Okay.
So
So that's both my spells.
Burn
Add
it
a
all up
device
front and
points.
hope for the best.
Yeah. So I'll just roll 4 times.
Sorry. That's my 25 minutes warning.
4 times. 20. Okay, I do 24.
24. And you call that a normal hit.
Paladins
divides-
got insane burst damage.
Yeah, I do. But I'm also now out of it. Now I'm down to my regular just 2d6.
Yeah,
Well-
it's just short bursts.
Your sword's flames with the energy of your divine god. You hit him very hard. You see him stumble and stagger a few steps. And just before he seems to go down, he catches himself and he gets back on his feet. You see a lot of blood coming out of him, of the wound that you just caused him. He is holding on by a thread, but he's still alive.
I'll say. Do you wish to surrender now? Do you wish to continue the duel?
Oh, come on, lad. Let's at least make this an even fight. Let me finish my turn.
Alright, well, before you can, on my bonus action, I am going to use my, so I don't have the chance to get, I'm going to use the vial that she gave me.
Okay. It's a cure wound
So that's
from level 1.
1d8, right? Plus,
Yes.
or is it 1d6? It's a d8
no, it's a 1d8 plus I believe it's
It's usually, well, if she's casting it, it would be her plus her wisdom modifier, but
yeah.
but it's a rune, so I don't know.
No, it's I'll explain it. I'll explain what it is actually later. No, so it would be a 1d8 plus 4.
Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11, so that full heals me. Alright. I'm back up to 24.
Okay. So the captain attacks. Good lord. Well, natural 1, so of course that doesn't hit. 7 and a 17.
17 hits.
17 is
Come on.
actually with the dagger, so it doesn't do a lot of damage.
He
that
catches me on
tickles.
his last. He catches me.
Yeah, it just
Seems
grazes
that
you
sounds
as
like-
goodbye. And it causes 5 points of damage.
I mean, I'd say that's more than a graze, but you know, it's not.
For a level 2, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's. He gets me. He gets a good nick. He gets a good nick in there. I'll give him the nick.
The Nick.
A
So
good
he
deep
looks at
shaving
you.
cut.
He looks at you after giving this blow and says, "Well then, little whelp, do you want to keep going? Or are you ready to make a wager that is a little bit more interesting?"
I mean, is he very? I'll say, okay. What do you have in mind?
If you lose, I get all of your crew.
What do I get if I win?
If I die, well, I guess you'll get my ship.
Done. I'm winning this fight. He's already very hurt.
I have kind of.
Confident now.
Yeah, I was thinking I have a bad
I'm
feeling.
audience. Do you think I'm not confident?
Yeah,
Come
true.
on.
Yeah, that low intelligence. He's like, I got this, you know.
Dude, I just smashed him. I smashed him with 2 giant blows. I see this man bleeding. I'm like, oh, this is. He's just giving me more? Alright.
Audience is like,
This
wait,
is
why the
over
battle?
before it even started.
Out of a sudden, Cthulhu comes out.
His next attack is gonna hit me with all 3 attacks. Just one shot me. He's been holding it.
Oh gosh.
But isn't it your move now? Because
It
he
is my
just
move.
attacked
It
him.
is my move.
Well, actually, yes, it is your move, but you feel something hits you from the back. It doesn't help. It's sharp and it hurts like hell. You just take 7 points of damage from something that came from somewhere on your back.
Bro,
Did I see where it came from?
This boy cheating? I have a shield on my back. How did I get by my shield?
Well, I'd say ribs toward your
Ribs.
back, not
Alright,
directly
alright.
in your back.
Question: did I see where this projectile came from?
Make a... Well, actually, that would be a passive perception. What is your passive perception?
Aye.
Good passive perception.
Passive perception, 17. Actually, you did just made it. You looked because from the corner of your eyes, you can swear you're 99% sure that you saw one of the skeleton moving and something just came out of his hand. You are almost sure that a dart was thrown.
Bro, am I
That's
getting
cheating.
cheated? Am I getting cheated right
I'll yell to audience to be like, audience, the skeletons are gonna try to attack you.
now? Okay. There's not much I can do. I'm gonna turn to the captain. I'd say, you'd really cheat in an honest duel?
I didn't cheat. I'm gonna let you do an inside check for this.
Oh, okay. I believe him. I got a 7 again.
Yes, you actually believe him. You
Alright,
believe that it was an action taken by a skeleton, probably a command that he once gave to the skeleton that he forgot about. That's what you believe, anyway.
Alright, well, I'll be like, well, I took damage from outside the duel, so as in any fair fight, you should let me heal the damage I just took. As it was not from your blade. And those were the agreements, and that was from the agreement of the duel.
Oh no, you're going to use that to heal yourself. Oh, come on. Are you saying that you can't win? Are you saying that just because you got a slight injury from
I took
something that
7.
wasn't part of the duel will be enough to put you down?
I guess you should roll persuasion on that against me.
Alright, well, how would you like to save for this? A wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, we'll do wisdom. So that's +2. I rolled a nat 1. I do not like being taunted in this way.
Oh gosh.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I just immediately attack him again because it's my turn.
Alright!
Can I ask something?
Yes.
How far away is he from me?
Who? Audience?
No, the enemy captain.
The enemy
Third.
captain. Well, almost the same distance as audience. I'd say 15 feet.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna roll. Alright. Does a 16 hit?
Actually, it would, but as you see this hit come down on him, he used his reaction ability, Parry, which increases his AC by 2, and he parries your hit.
So
You
he
do
is
not-
a fighter. There you go.
Gosh.
Yeah, he does get limited of those though. I forced him to use it.
Yep.
So
Okay.
he
Well,
parries your
that's-
hit.
Wait, so he just blocked it?
It increases his AC by 2, and because of that, 16 isn't enough.
Yeah, 16 isn't enough. He increased it. I have any bonus actions?
Keep attacking him.
Well, yeah, I already attacked him.
It's a reaction ability. You can only use it once every turn.
I could. No, that doesn't matter. None of that matters. Okay. Yeah, it's his turn.
Alright. So the blow came directly above his head and he parried it with his scimitar. You see a grin on his head, on his face. And he attacks you with a total 20, which would hit for a 5 points of damage. The second hit would be an 11, which I believe miss. And the last one is a natural 19, so I believe that does
Yeah.
hit.
That does hit.
With his dagger.
Alright. It's dagger. Alright, I'll probably live through this then.
4 hit points of damage.
Yeah. Okay. I'm very low. I'm feeling it. We're both low.
Yeah.
But I'm still up. I get a turn.
Yes, it is your turn, unless the skeleton will attack. And...
Toby, see if you had reaction if you, now that you're watching that skeleton, see if you can stop him attacking.
no, actually nothing happens.
Oh.
You go ahead.
Okay. Cool. I'll attack him. Screw you. That's
Can I
a
stealthily
17.
throw a dart at the captain?
Oh, no, wait, that's a 6. No, that's an 18. Sorry, 18.
Well, that hits, even if he uses parry action, so you hit him.
Alright. Let's go. 2D. Okay. That's 12. He takes another 12 damage.
How would you like this battle to end?
Yes!
Hey.
Let's go!
You have the finishing blow.
Well, I did say I wasn't gonna kill him, so I'll go for the whole thing. I'll go for the thing instead of ending that. Like, I'm gonna bypass and I'm gonna chop off both of his hands and then put my blade at his throat.
Shoot.
Mortal Kombat style.
Well, I would end the fight,
love
but I
it.
technically said I wouldn't kill him, so that kind
Well,
of.
that's bleak.
Yeah, didn't say
dies
anything
from
about
bleeding out.
permanently maiming him, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't kill him. That's not
I'll
killing
never be
him.
able to drive his ship again.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have
Or
a ship
fight.
now, technically. So
Do
Or
we get
fight.
to keep the crew of skeleton?
Or I'll be like, and after I do that, I'll be like, surrender, and you can keep your life. However, we will be taking your ship.
Okay.
That's the current deal.
Keep them alive.
Well, he takes a few moments to recover from the trauma of losing his hands. Actually, I'm not sure if you were able to literally cut off both hands, but well, he can't use them, of course.
hanging on by a few.
I have a
hanging
great
on by a
sword
few
and 19
tendons or
strength.
something.
I think if I hit his hands, they'd come off.
Yeah, no, you got a fairly strong hit at the end. So, yeah, of course. Well, it does take him a few moments to recover from that trauma. When he looks
Wouldn't
at
he
you,
bleed-
sorry?
Wouldn't he bleed out?
No, it's gonna take a little while to bleed out from this injury. Yes, if no one treats him, he will die because of this. But he is, in all fairness, already bleeding from 2 very serious wounds. Yeah, probably in a few minutes he's gonna be dead, but
See if anybody on the ship's willing to heal him. You know.
he still has a little bit of time, say a prayer. So when you say this, he gets back up and looks at the 2 stumps he has now, looks at you and says, that's an interesting choice. You understand if I have to give you my ship, you'll need the commanding device that goes with it. I will go and get it for you. It will not let you touch it.
Okay, I'll go with them. I'm not I'll be like, we'll go with you. All right, but I'm gonna go with him.
So you follow him?
I basically keep my blade to him, so if he tries anything funny, I'll like finish him off.
So you follow him, and the moment he walks on the plank, I'd have you make a perception roll.
I want to come.
That is a 10.
Ooh, okay.
I'm good at combat. Nothing else, guys. Come on, don't laugh.
So you
I'm
don't.
coming.
So you get on the plank and you start walking, and as soon as he places one foot on his ship, you feel the ship starting to move.
Okay. As soon as can I do something?
Well, yeah.
Can I see the ship moving?
You see the signs that the ship is starting to move.
Okay. How far away are the two ships?
From one another? Well,
Yeah.
I'd say below 10 feet because it's a plank connecting the two ships.
Okay. I'm gonna try to jump across.
Okay.
Wait, what is my jump distance? How do you check
Your
that?
jump distance is your strength. I believe it's your strength. Oh, I have it here. All right. Strength score. Yeah. You can do an athletics check with the rule modification that I made to increase that, but it's your strength score at the basis.
Oh, my strength score. Let me see.
Yeah.
Low.
It cannot exceed your
+1.
full movement.
Oh wait. So it'd be 12.
Yeah, you can jump 12 feet.
All right. So I'll jump across. I roll in athletics, or I just jump across.
No, 12 feet would be enough. You would get to the other side. However, as you run past the skeleton on board the ship, one of them actually tries
me.
to hit you.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. And, so the skeleton. Oh, only a short sword? Okay. Well, I thought it was long sword. So it is a 18. Does it hit?
Yes, it hits.
It hits.
Pretty dang hard.
It hits you for 8 hit points of damage.
Damn, you took a blow.
Wow. Okay.
It is the maximum
Yeah.
damage that they can do in one hit.
Oh my gosh.
So you get cleaved as you pass by one of the skeleton.
What do I see when I get to the other ship?
Well, as you land on the railing, I'd say I'd have you make a dexterity roll.
Gosh,
That might not have been the move, Toby.
might not have, but
12 feet
Yeah,
is...
you might be swimming here.
whatever happens, I did it. Wait. Okay, wait. What kind of check?
Dexterity. Because it's so exactly at the distance, the
18.
dexterity is to make sure that you don't fall. You said?
18.
18. Yeah, no problem. So you jump and you catch the railing, and as you clutches the wound on your side, you look on the other ship and it is empty. There is no one. Except
Even
the
audience?
captain who has just... No, the captain has just set foot on his boat. Audience is still on the plank.
Okay.
that is slowly being stretched, creaking, and on the verge of breaking with him on it.
So I was like very close. I basically like had my
Yeah.
hand on him with the sword. So it's just
Well, as soon as he put a foot on his ship, so
Yeah, long.
yes, you would be able to just jump one step and you'd be on his ship.
okay.
But if you don't move,
I mean,
everything's just gonna
I'll jump-
fall.
I'm gonna jump onto his ship.
all right.
While keeping the sword pressed against him in case he. I don't want to just kill him because I still don't know if he's doing something funny or if it's just like the ship reacting. But
No, actually, as soon as you get in, he turns toward you slowly and he says, "One word and my ship fires. Leave or I sink them."
He said one word, right? Could I hear this?
I'd say you're close enough, yes.
Okay.
what would be the test to try and cut his throat before he could speak?
Oh yeah, I was gonna try to run up behind him and use the rope.
I'd say, well, I'd say it's the equivalent of initiative. So I'd say dexterity.
That'd be
Who
dexterity.
reacts first?
Would that be acrobat?
No, it's just dexterity. It's
Ooh.
with
Okay.
Can I
your
make one?
dexterity modifier.
Wait,
Do
no.
you want
if
to
he's
try
gonna-
something first, Tobia? I mean, when he says that, I'm going to try and kill him because that was against what
I
he
mean,
said.
all three
so
of you could roll initiative and just see who
Yeah,
gets
I
there
mean-
first. You know.
we can all just throw attacks at
Yeah,
him. And
I was
see
gonna
who
know.
gets the
Yeah, I
word
was gonna
off.
try to grapple his throat with the rope that I have wrist. So
Because I mean, neither
Can't
one
be.
of you know what the other is going to do. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
say you
yeah.
just
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
both
I'm gonna
react.
say
you know?
I'm gonna try when he says that. I'm gonna try and cut his throat, and
Yeah,
Tobiyashi, you can do whatever you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
it's
I'm gonna
initiative.
roll my dex.
initiative.
Well, it's dexterity roll with your modifier is initiative.
All right,
So-
I got a 13, so it's okay.
18.
18.
18. Oh, this is interesting. Tobiyashi and the captain goes simultaneously.
So should we have another roll off?
No, usually it's just who has the better dexterity. Tobiyashi, what's your dexterity modifier?
I think it is a +3.
Him also. Okay.
Roll off.
No, I really don't mind having two initiative at the same time. What's your dexterity?
16.
You have exactly the same initiative. So you actually both act at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, I would try to grapple the rope around his throat.
Okay, so you start running, throw yourself,
And just try to. Ugh.
All right, so you do this, and at the same time, you hear him scream, "Fire!"
And then I cut his throat, I guess. 'Cause then
Well,
I-
actually, Tobiyashi, are you trying to do him damage or just stop him?
I would say trying
Audience
to.
spared him, so he is technically at 1 hit point.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would try to like slam his head into the boat.
All right, so I'd say just make an attack roll.
Okay.
trying to keep him from speaking. So
Yeah. That's a natural 20.
Well, then it works. So,
Overkill.
oh, that's gonna be interesting. So, yes, you take him and you just slam his head on the railing, and you just see a splash of blood. And he falls limp to the ground. Unfortunately, he had time to scream fire, and you hear 4 explosions coming from the side of the ship, immediately impacting on the side of your ship. And as you see all of those splinters of wood exploding and hurling themselves in every direction,
Oh.
we're gonna stop here because it's 1:30.
Oh my
I
god.
should have just killed him. I'm not sparing any people.
I should have tried to sneak behind him. Oh, freak! I shouldn't have.
Well, you know what, Toby?
Didn't want to say anything, but I was
Yeah,
going to
and-
say to crank the rope
you know
down
what?
where he.
Yeah.
Outside of the game, we got ourselves a ship. We're alive. Some
Yes.
NPCs died
Well-
over there.
Well, yes, if you survive this, actually, you have a new
Yep.
ship. You could take it, or you could gift it to the captain that you have, and
Maybe
gain
we could
a
find him in the
friend
water.
forever.
I gotta go now.
Yeah, sure. That's
Okay.
right. That's why.
I don't know.
All
Yeah,
right.
looks
So.
like she was ready. She looked like she was ready for a long rest already.
All right. So see you next
Have
Wednesday,
fun.
everyone.
See ya.
For the audience, well, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope to see you again next Wednesday. Wednesday. Have a good night. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.
Hope
what
we can
level?
find them in the
Now